Hi, I'm Bradley Long. I'm a project manager here at the Social Science Research Center at Mississippi State University. And for the Early Childhood Echo Project, I help coordinate contracts and payments as well as work as a facilitator and coordinator for the Echo sessions.
I'm Lisa Long. I'm the project director for Early Childhood Echo.
I am Michelle Gaither, and I am a facilitator here with EC Echo. And so I help with the planning and the organizing. I help with communicating with our participants, with our agencies, building relationships with participants, agencies, representing our specialists or representing ourselves to our specialists, and then just being in the Echo sessions, helping facilitate those sessions, and so forth.
I started working in early childhood during my undergraduate research associate days. And as I got older, I realized the importance of early childhood education and development. And so when the Early Childhood Echo Project came along, I was excited to jump in and help with that because I see how impactful it can be not only for our present, but for our future.
So I've always loved children, and I taught in the public school system for 24 years. And so after getting out of teaching, I still wanted to be a part of the of elementary education or early childhood education in that community. So this was just a way to remain a part of that community, but just in a different capacity, in a way that I could still serve, but not necessarily be in the classroom, and still give back to children in that community. And so I found this outlet of this way of doing it, so I wanted to be a part in that way, and it's been very rewarding.
I would say that Project Echo is really about moving knowledge and not people. Mississippi is a very spread out rural state, and so people aren't always able to attend meetings in one centralized location. So Project Echo allows us to share our experiences and our knowledge in a way that works for everybody.
Echo is an online professional development model, and what makes it different is that you can use it as online professional development and learn about a certain early childhood topic the way you would from other early childhood professional development webinars. But what makes it so unique is the chance to offer a case study and to talk about an anonymous case in your classroom or with the family that you're working with, and get immediate feedback and support and help and links to resources. The model itself started in the healthcare field. It stands for Extension for Community Healthcare Outcomes, but now it's used all over the world, and we're really excited to be using it in the early childhood field.
Project Echo is different because we are all here to learn together. Project Echo isn't just something where someone is talking at you all the time, but really we are here to talk to each other.
The Echo model is different from other types of professional development because of the case studies and that opportunity to bring a case that you are struggling with in your classroom or in your daily work as a social worker with a family or with children, not maybe in the classroom, but children who you are supporting in some way as a professional, to talk about that case anonymously, and then to ask for immediate feedback and from your peers and also from experts in that area who are also on the Echo Zoom call, and get strategies, to leave that hour with strategies and new ideas for the ways that you can work with children or with families, and just to be able to offer that support.
So what makes it so different is that those lived experience cases or shared experiences that people bring to the Echo sessions. And so I know when I was doing professional development as a teacher, a lot of times we just sat and listened. And so I would have loved to have had the opportunity to bring something that was actually going on in my classroom, bring a challenge with a child, and have some dialogue with some other teachers or some experts in the field about strategies that I could use to help benefit that child or grow my practice as a teacher.
I believe that Project Echo makes a difference for the professionals because, we all have so much experience and knowledge in Mississippi, and it's great to come together to learn, what does work and also what doesn't work. Someone may have tried this here and it didn't work for them, but they could say, this is why it didn't work, and I've learned and I've grown from this. Or they could say, I have tried this and I had great success. Same for families. It's sometimes we think that we are alone and we're the only ones going through things, but it's great to come together and realize that you are not as isolated as you think, and we really are in this thing called life together.
So I think it's very empowering because everybody can feel supported. The specialists or the experts feel supported. They feel like they're getting inside information or inside information from the participants who are in the calls. They're kind of hearing from the boots on the ground people. So they're feeling supported and they're feeling like they're in touch with what's going on with the boots on the ground people, the teachers or the participants, the professionals that are in on the calls feel like they're getting some support from the experts. And but they're also part of what's going on by supporting their peers and getting support from their peers so they feel empowered. And then the families are empowered because they're bringing things to the table as well and supporting other families. So it's just a way that everybody's feeling like they're contributing to what's going on, and everybody's feeling like they're empowered, so that everybody's making feels like they're offering advice or giving something to make changes. So there could be changes that are made or strategies and so forth. So there are ways that everybody's interacting and coming up with ways that will impact the outcome of a child's life.
I would say to someone just starting on the Echo journey to never be afraid to speak up. There are no right or wrong answers. There are just your truths. And it's important to share your story to help and inspire and encourage other people along the way.
I would encourage new participants on the Echo journey to be open-minded and to be brave. You may hear of some new strategies that you haven't tried before, but it's great to keep an open mind and be willing to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and try those new ideas. And then to come back and tell everyone how they went, what worked well, what didn't work well, but to keep an open mind and be willing to try new strategies, whichever early childhood profession you're with. And being brave, it's not easy to be vulnerable and share a case that is happening within your classroom or your early childhood profession. But we've all been there. If you've worked with young children, then you've had a question. You've had a situation where you wondered, did I handle that as well as I could have? And you maybe haven't had an opportunity to bounce that off of someone else. And Echo provides that, but you gotta be a little bit vulnerable and be willing to say, hey, I'm not sure what to do here. Can you all help me out? Can you give me some feedback, some ideas and suggestions? But you have to be a little vulnerable and brave to do that and to get the most out of Echo.
So the biggest part of this Echo project and part of being successful is actually interaction. So as somebody who is participating in these Echo sessions, it's super important to be involved in what's going on, asking questions of, so we have a mini presentation where our specialists come in and they give like a 20-minute presentation on a specific topic. And then we do our lived experience cases or scenarios. And so when given the opportunity, ask questions about the mini presentation, but then also there's an opportunity for you to ask questions about the scenario. So being sure to ask questions when the opportunity is given, provide suggestions when the opportunity is given to provide suggestions, be engaged in the polls that are given, when open-ended questions are asked, just to be involved in conversation that's being had. You can do that through the chat. You can do that just by unmuting yourself. So it's a really open, it's supposed to be a comfortable conversation type atmosphere. The number of people are limited to about 25 to 30 people to support and promote community within the groups. And so if you'll just get involved and build that community, it's one of those things that you'll get more out of it. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. You'll get to bring what's going on in your workplace into to the sessions, and then you'll be able to ask questions, and it's just a way that everybody will be able to provide strategies and pull information from it related specifically to their workplace or to their homes.
I hope that participants realize that just as children are reaching different developmental milestones and learning each day, so are we as professionals and as families. Every day is a new journey. Every day is a new step. We all learn along the way. So never be afraid to share, never be afraid to learn, and never be afraid to keep trying.
I hope that participants will remember that one of the things we talk about so often with ECHO for early childhood is to meet children where they are. So as I think back on some of the children's behavior and different types of situations that I know some of my students were in, and realize I could have done more. Now I've learned so much. I wish I could go back in time and be the teacher that they needed at that time and really met them where they were. But my advice for teachers now is to meet them where they are. I hope they'll remember that, and also to be a detective. Think about what is this child's behavior trying to tell you? What is the message that the behavior has for you? What's the function of that behavior? So if they can remember that, be a detective, try to figure that out, and then to support that child where they are. I hope that's something that I really hope all of our participants hear when we talk about it on the ECHO sessions, and that they'll remember.
When you are working with children, or when people who work with children come together with a unified team, and the purpose is to provide support for a child for their home lives, for their families and their communities, their school environments, then working as a team, then everybody wins. The old saying, together everyone achieves more, team is truly works well in this situation. And so, and especially the child wins. So when we're thinking about that, it's just thinking about working as a team together in all aspects. And truly, if we'll just take down the barriers of things that prevent us from working together, EC ECHO allows that, because it's just a great way for us to get together in a community online that removes the barriers of distance and time and so forth, and lets us just work together as a team and for the betterment of the children of Mississippi.
I would describe ECHO as collaborative. We are all here to learn together and grow together and share together, and there's no reason why people shouldn't feel empowered to share what they've experienced and learned along their way.
So I actually have two words. One is empowering, and that's for all the reasons that I've talked about. I do hope and I believe that our participants, when they leave ECHO, do feel empowered. They've got resources that they didn't have before they were a part of ECHO. They've had all the wonderful input and strategy suggestions from their peers and from the expert specialists who are a part of ECHO. And I hope they feel empowered and ready to go back to the classroom or back to the field, wherever they work with young children and families. And then the other word is inclusive. One of the things that I also love about ECHO all over the world is that it is a very inclusive program. So no matter which ECHO you want to learn from or be a part of, every person's voice is valued. and every person's years of experience are seen as expertise that can contribute to the greater whole. And I love that all are welcome and all are really encouraged to share their voices, share their experience, their perspectives, and be a part of that very inclusive environment where one of the taglines of ECHO is all teach, all learn. And that is truly the way we hope that every ECHO session, that's the spirit of all of ECHO that we provide.
I would describe it as opportunity. Because there are so many opportunities through ECHO. There's opportunities to make changes in our practices. There's opportunities to serve children. There's opportunities to support each other. There's opportunities to grow. There's opportunities to learn. There's opportunities to be innovative. There's opportunities to learn. And so it's just a great opportunity to be a part of something that is super special and can make a big impact in the lives of the families and the professionals of those that interact with the children of Mississippi.